In disc golf, we need things like this.
Putting 3 from the drop zone.
And why not keep them cheering out here on the 8th hole?
This is what makes disc golf, well, disc golf. Something worth watching, something worth cheering for. That's what hole number 8 at the most famous course in the world has to offer. This is the story of the 8-holers, and how they turned just a cool looking hole into the best fan experience in disc golf. How one hole brings together a community at one of the biggest events in disc golf history. Shout out to today's sponsor, Renew Disc Golf. The team over at Renew sent me over a couple bags to try out, and I'm going to be honest, I never thought I would change bags from the one I had. But I was wrong. My old bag now has been set aside for the Renew Eco Pack 1. They have different colors to choose from, but I'm a sucker for the super clean all black bag. What I like about the Eco Pack is it's so much lighter than my other one, has more than enough discs for me with 22 capacity, and has the right amount of storage to fit all my disc golf gadgets. You may have seen them as the disc golf bags that are made from recycled materials, and that's awesome, but don't let that fool you for the quality of the bag. Check them out using the link in the description below and use code RM10 at checkout for 10% off your next disc golf bag. In the beginning of the Disc Golf Pro Tour, the Vibram Open would be an event which would stick around for years to come. And it was an event long before that, but that's not where our story matters. What does matter is when it was a part of the Disc Golf Pro Tour. Maple Hill, the course to host the Vibram Open, and later would be known as the MVP Open, is the tippity-toppest tier for disc golf courses. It's incredible, has a lot of amazing holes that are iconic in the history of the sport. But one hole sets itself apart. That would be hole number 8. Over the water to an island green, a tough shot, but not impossible. But the hole started to set itself apart in 2018. Let me introduce to you Zach Benson. Massachusetts native, alongside his fiance and the Oakleys, they run the Whale Sacks brand. I've worked with Zach before, and he was more than willing to tell me the story of this hole, so shout out to him. And he was incredibly helpful, because he's been there since the start. As a fan of disc golf, he went to the 2018 MVP Open and hung out on hole 8. Some would gather, chill, just a small group, but the idea of something more would happen. Benson would spend a year lobbying friends and disc golf fans to come hang out on the 8th hole the following year. Setting up to hang out in the first round, roughly 15 people would arrive as the groups went through. The second day, the group would grow to 30 people at times, with FPO pros coming to hang out after their rounds. In honor of the saying mass holes for people from Massachusetts, the regulars who hung out started to call themselves the 8 holes. By Sunday, it was an official thing, but the momentum would be slammed to a halt for the 8-holers, as 2020 would have a different spectacle. With COVID regulations and no fans, only Benson would be out on the 8th hole with cardboard cutouts as his 8-holers. So it wasn't as fun as it was before, but the next year it would be back. Over the next few years, the 8-holers would grow, rising at times to 70 or 80 people hanging out on this small hole. With the layout of behind the green being just a slope into the woods, people just kept growing further and further back into the tree line. Our story with Zach doesn't end there though, since his help with creating this group has deemed him the king of the 8 holes. Now, it may seem a bit cheesy or something like that, but most things are with the 8-holers, and it's an inside joke. But the King's not alone. They have established a court out on the 8th hole with jesters and jokers, others who have their own jobs when it comes to the traditions. And speaking of traditions, over the years, that's what these guys have become known for. Slow clapping as each card gets to the tee pad. Lots of traditions have to do with different kinds of clapping, but they do other stuff like have candy, and my favorite, the drop zone tradition. If you don't make it onto the island, you proceed to the drop zone up into the 8-holers. Now when you make the putt, they chant for you to sign the board, which everyone who makes a drop zone putt gets to do. They also chant the number of people who have made the putt. As the 8-holers have grown and grown, a lot of what Benson and his crew do is a lot of crowd control. With a lot of noise and clapping, they make sure to coordinate with number 9's tee box as much as possible. With how the course is laid out, you can hear the 8-holers all the way back at number 1 tee box, with the noise traveling across the water. Most of what happens with the 8-holers is gaggy stuff that happens in between cards, like with gesture-led stretches to make sure 8-holers' hands aren't hurting from clapping too much. I think having something like this at your event is cool and all, but the 8-holers are way more dedicated than you think. Some may come and go, but the dedicated ones are there for the first FPO card of the day to the last MPO card of the day. They bring the energy not only for the top leaders of the event, but those FPO players who show up early and are in contention. The 8-holers collaborate with the tournament director as well, with him having people bring out pizza orders down to the 8th hole. To finish this off, a direct quote from the king of the 8-holers himself. What we're doing is creating memories for people. It's things like the 8 holes that separate us from golf, and it's the true essence of what disc golf is meant to be. Just like we've done for a lot of other videos, I want to look at the best moments from the greatest hole in disc golf. Now the way it's set up just puts it in position to have amazing shots come in. Island green over the water with backhand and forehand as options to get it in the basket. Here are the best aces on hole 8 over the years.
Mistake you can make here, not give it enough power. This has pretty good power for Marweed. My goodness. We've got another ace here on hole 8. No, we're going to take another look at this one.
Pretty flat, good height. And then the swing back in front of all the trees and all of these fans on hole 8.
It's still in the chains. You can't.
Funny, there's actually someone. How is there? Got it. Whoa! Yeah, buddy! Oh my god, I got that on video.
Go in. Come on.
Oh! Let's go! Yeah, Steve. There you go, man.
But not only aces, big moments have happened on this hole too. Like last year when Corey Ellis and Gannon Buhr showed some great shots. Up first would be Ellis, who had a great drive just getting the crowd going. But then it was Gannon who did this.
8's right there in front of you, but I saw a lot of people go out of bounds on this hole. A lot. This is looking great too.
Two off the cage.
Even though the eventual winner came from the chase card, Simon Lizotte, some fun moments would happen for those guys as well.
And Ben from the drop zone. A rare club to be a part of.
See it again. Just a perfect putt.
Most recently, the 2023 MVP Open would see Simon and Eagle with 6 shots and some close calls.
Hole 8.
These guys need to be careful because this is a 2-stroke swinger as well. What a late drifting shot that was. Beautiful. Yeah.
Just like
in.
that. Just like that.
Simon.
Oh, Simon.
Cheeky devil.
He is just all about the dramatics, isn't he?
But not everything with 8-holers is 6 shots and made putts. Here's Calvin on the putting green for birdie.
Oh, no way. No. Unbelievable.
I think that was something like this, with what the 8-holers have created, is something that needs to be in disc golf. Not everything is positive with the opinions for these guys, usually just internet dweebs who complain about the 8-holers. But for disc golf and the MVP Open, this is a necessity. It provides a nice break in the action, gets the fans involved both on the course and at home. Now, I don't think other events should copy and paste what is happening at the 8th hole for Maple Hill, but why not try to create something special of your own? We have amazing courses out on tour that are played every year. It only takes one fan to start something up like this. Just like Zach did over the years, and then suddenly you have an amazing experience at one of, if not the best course in the world. Do something different, be creative, fans want to get involved, and I want to watch it. Don't forget to go check out Renewed Disc Golf Bags using the link in the description below. Don't forget to use code RM10 at checkout for 10% off. Special thanks to Zach Benson for helping out with this video. This video is made for the 8-holers, and hopefully I did you guys justice. Alright, we'll see you guys next time. Cheers.